Hi folks, welcome to Follow the Leader, a podcast focused on telling character-driven stories through the use of GM-less tabletop games where we can all take the lead. You can find us on Twitter and Tumblr at FTLcast. Today we're playing In Dreaming Avalon by Vincent Baker and Meguey Baker, I do hope I pronounced that correctly, using the Patreon preview version released last year, which you can find at patreon.com/lumply. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. What orchard is this, we fairies, we knights, in which we meet? It is the orchard of Dreaming Avalon, the sacred isle of apples, the golden summer crown of fairyland. We knights late of Arthur's round at Camelot, we knights are travellers here. We lost our way upon the mortal road, or else lay down beside it to sleep, and so dreamed ourselves to this strange place. And we fairies, we are the court of the goddess Moon and this her queen, Morgan le Fay. We also slept once and were mortal, in ancient and forgotten time, but now we are fairies, and our waking life is yet our dream. What will we here, we fairies, we knights, to while away our dreaming hour? Like hacks of Vincent Baker's game MFO Firebrands, which we've played here at FTL before, this is a casual role-playing game focused on the entanglements between the player characters. In the case of In Dreaming Avalon, the object of the game is to fall in love. The players take turns choosing one of the mini-games, and over the course of each of them, they play to find out who falls in love with whom and what they do about it. I'm Jade, and you can find me at Jade Oxford Rose, and my pronouns are they, them. Playing with me today we have...
Hey everyone, I'm Schrag. You can find me on Twitter at TheSecretFrog. My pronouns are he, him.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at SAKalo. And I also use he, him pronouns, and I think this is the first time that we've had somebody who isn't me on this podcast that uses he, him pronouns.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm the token cis dude.
You sure are.
We'll still let you play, it's fine.
Generous of you.
And I'm Dora. You can find me on Twitter at HarpyDora, and my pronouns are they, them.
Our lines, things we absolutely do not want to see are homophobia and transphobia, racism, sexism, violence against children and animals, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, attacks by dogs, and unwanted pregnancy. Our veils, things we're fine with addressing but will just fade to black on, are steamy situations and graphic descriptions of bodily harm. Now that we've got all that, let's get started.
Woo!
Woo! One of my cats has started yelling. Yay!
Your cat is also excited about this game.
He's super, super into it. Okay, as per the game materials, the first step is to introduce our characters. So if we flip down, to read a little from the playbook, as a group you need at least 2 fairies and at least 2 knights. We got 4 players, so we'll be fine. We decided ahead of time who was going to play who. So we've got all that. So yeah, there's actually a little script with the introductions, which is pretty cool. And so, yeah, Schrag, you're up first.
Right.
So...
I am a knight of King Arthur's court, come here to Dreaming Avalon. I'm a man, and in appearance I am tall and wiry. I have a thin and angular face, I have dark hair and darker, searching eyes. In character I am brash and loyal. My name is Sir Edward, and my pronouns are he, him.
I am a fairy of Dreaming Avalon. I appear as a mortal man, except that there is an invisible wind constantly rustling the fine fabric of my clothing and my hair. Otherwise, in appearance, I am tall, strikingly beautiful, and my hair is blue. In character, I am playful and romantic. My name is Yorwith Glasgow. My pronouns are he, him.
I'm a knight of King Arthur's court, come here to Dreaming Avalon. I'm a genderqueer person, and in appearance I am short and stocky with an open face and wide hazel eyes. In character, I am good-hearted and cheerful. My name is Sir Parker, and my pronouns are he or they.
I am a fairy of Dreaming Avalon. I appear as a mortal, non-binary person, except that I have a foxtail long enough to just sweep the ground behind me as I walk, and sharp teeth to match. Otherwise, in appearance, I am short and soft. I move with the grace of a dancer and have long red hair in shades of copper and autumn leaves, matching the tail, of course, that falls to low on my back, large brown eyes flecked with gold, and an easy smile. And in character, I am dashing and sly. My name is Jade. My pronouns are they, them. And as is tradition here at Florida, I am entirely on my bullshit today.
Hell yeah.
Good.
We should all strive to be on our bullshit at all times.
As always. Okay, we've introduced our characters, so now we get to just begin the minigames. We just take turns around the table. We can choose at random. We'll take the first turn. We can roll if we want, or we can use the turn order that we've got rather than random because we went to the effort of coming up with the turn order. You can choose any game we want except Waking, which is how you close the game. Basically, we'll keep taking turns around the table, choosing games until we've been around at least once. We'll play for as long as we want until we get bored, but everybody gets to pick a game, and then the group will decide that we're ready to end. But the games, which I'm going to read out while Schrag decides which one he wants to play, are The Court, where everyone plays, a dance, where you play with a partner and anyone else may join in, a feast, where everyone plays, a hunt, where you play with a partner and anyone else can join in, a joust, where you play with a partner and everyone else plays as judges, meeting sword to sword, which you play with a partner, mischief, you play with a partner and everyone else eavesdrops, the ogre, or a perilous quest, which everyone plays, and we looked at that before we started and all of us were like, oh god, how long is this game? So who knows if we'll play that one. It looks good, just long. Solitaire, which you play by yourself, stealing time together, which you play with a partner and you may invite others, and Waking, which is, as I said, how we will end the game, which is played by everyone. So yeah, Schrag, what do you want to do?
I would like to begin with a feast.
Ooh.
Exciting.
A feast.
So in the feast, everyone plays. What do you notice about each other?
So this is I'm just realizing this is a Firebrand's hack.
It is, yeah.
Does it count as a hack if it's by the person who wrote Firebrands, though?
I think if you're hacking your
Again.
own thing, it's still hacking it. It's like, you can't, yeah. I suppose you're like, are you doing is it an AU of MFO Firebrands?
Open your own document. I'm in.
Yep.
But yeah, I love that each of these mini games has got a specific object to it, like a purpose for play, which is cool.
The object of the feast, which is why I chose it, was to play to find out about each other's hearts and histories.
God.
That Seahawk voice is gonna kill me. Oh my
Yeah, that's
God.
the point.
I do love this character voice that you've chosen. It's very good. It's very,
Well, thank you.
What's his name from the Penumbra podcast?
Oh,
The one that isn't Sir Damien.
Oh, the one that... Oh, Sir Angelo. It is a bit Sir Angelo. I love Sir Angelo. Oh.
Alright, so
Yeah.
I guess I'll just get started on how to conduct it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everyone gets a turn and go once around the table. On your turn, the chef sends forth a dish for all to eat. You create the dish by choosing from the lists, either a knight's dish or a fairy dish, your choice. And the fairy dishes have 2 parts to them, like a mix and match, and then the knight's dishes are just like 1. And then each dish ends with a question to the assembled feasters. Everyone answers every question by a show of hands or other act of acknowledgement. Make note of others' answers as you like. And then once everyone's had their turn, all together toast the chef, and the feast ends.
Okay, I'm going to make a quick note that we've played the feast, just so we can keep track. Because you can always repeat games as well. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe some of them won't, but, you can.
57 feasts and then waking.
That sounds like a great night, quite frankly. Just like, nothing but food. And then you wake up.
No one ever steals time with each other. No one-on-one interactions.
Yep. Jesus. Okay. But yeah, so if everyone plays,
Yeah. Who would like to choose a dish first?
Well, we need to know what we notice about each other.
yeah.
Yes, that's
Also,
true.
where are we? Shrug, describe where we are.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say that we are around a uncommonly large stump of a tree that has been set as a table. Perhaps a redwood of some kind. Are those just tall and thin?
Redwoods are so large that you can carve a tunnel through them to drive a car through.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like a giant redwood stump. It's large enough that many fairies can be seated around it, and the four of us find ourselves there, with a chef preparing what we have requested. No, it is a summer's night, I believe.
Legit.
So I don't know if we are being lit by constant twilight or something of that nature.
And what do we notice about each other? Does anybody know what we notice? Or what other people notice about them? I'm trying to think.
Well, I think if anyone is looking at Ed, they would notice his eyes are constantly darting around, trying to pick up on what he sees in other people. He's looking a bit suspicious, but also just very curious.
I would say that what you notice about Yorwith is that he seems just perfectly in his element. He's very relaxed, very cheerful. You know, he's flirting, he's laughing. He seems just very, confident in this kind of setting.
Sir Edward's eyes linger on Yorwith for a bit.
Ooh.
I think that you notice about Parker, since I think he's probably the youngest person here, he's also the most curious and just in staring at things in wide-eyed wonder, because he's just got no idea what to make of anything here.
And as we are both knights of King Arthur's court, do we recognize each other?
Oh, that's a good question. I think maybe it might be most interesting if I recognize you, but you don't necessarily recognize me because I'm one of the younger knights, and so you don't have much experience with me. Does that make sense?
That does make some sense. It's sort of that thing where it's like, oh, it's that guy
It's
that
the new
I saw in the
kid.
break room once.
Yeah, it's that new kid. Meanwhile, it's like, oh, Sir Edward. I wanted to be like Sir Edward, when I graduated.
Aww.
That is the common reaction to have to Parker, by the way, in any and all iterations. It's and what you notice about Jade is that they're sat incredibly still, incredibly poised. Like, when you see ballet dancers in the rehearsal room, just waiting, that kind of controlled stillness to their body, except their tail is constantly twitching behind them, just swishing.
I love that they have a tail.
From side. I'm so on my bullshit, guys.
I love
the
it.
fact that Quixote hasn't had a tail before is just entirely because the setting has not allowed them to have a tail before.
God, that's so valid.
But yeah, the tail is just periodically you'll just hear this little swish of fur against the grass behind them. So
Edward's eyes almost slide right through Quixote, as they're just sitting so still that he almost sees them as part of the background until he comes back to them, and then his eyes are fixed on the tail.
Valid. Okay. So everybody, on your turn, the chef will send forth a dish. We just cycling background to Schrag?
Sure. All right. So I will choose a knight's dish. I don't think you have to choose a knight's dish if you are a knight, but I shall. And I shall call for warm oatcakes with honey. And the question that I shall ask to the assembled feasters: if your hearts never raced with fear, this dish tastes insipid and lifeless and offers no savor. Whose never has?
Yeah, because normally it says like you would raise your hands or some other act of acknowledgement. So
we could just like go in turn order and say I have not or I have, etc.
or like what your character does, because I assume like the question is asked out loud by the people there, and then it's sort of like how people react. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't really know how this particular mini game works.
There's a real sort of heightened theatricality and like romanticism to it implied by the setting.
Yeah.
So I can totally believe this is an entire kind of place where people will call for a dish and then ask this question, just like, oh, by the by, if you haven't done this, this is going to taste like crap.
This is a call-out post.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a call-out dish.
Especially the fairy dishes.
Yeah, the fairy dishes are a lot.
The fairy dishes are so good.
Yeah.
So I guess we just go around in turn order and say, what is this? If your heart's never raced with fear, this dish tastes insipid and lifeless and offers no savor. Whose never has? Yours is just, the dish is delicious. Of course I've had my fears.
I think Parker is just, of course I've felt fear, but overcoming fear is what makes you a knight. And goes for a second one.
Coyote just grins, and you see how sharp the teeth look. Like, this is the full fox's teeth grin. And they just, like, pop what's left of the honey cake they were holding in, just, like, lick their fingers clean. And just, like, look delighted by what they just ate. Does the asker answer the question as well? Or do they just get to enjoy the answers?
Oh, everyone answers every question. I suppose that does mean me as well. Well, as the one who ordered the dish, I devour the oatcake readily and lean back with a sigh of contentment.
Your dish.
My dish. Excellent. I call for a dish of ripe golden poppy pods spiced with nettles venom. If you are wed to one not present, who waits bitterly for you to remember this dish is intoxicating to you? Who here is intoxicated?
Damn. Fairies aren't holding back on the questions. Oh, jeez.
Yorwith's voice, so who here is single?
Oh shit! What's
See,
it?
it's that second clause that's getting me.
I think Parker definitely has their wits about them. They're not particularly fazed by this dish, although they don't go for seconds on that one.
Coyote looks bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'm sorry. There's going to be a lot of this, I feel, over the course of this game.
I'm so glad.
But yeah, they too are unaffected. They enjoy the dish, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on them.
When Edward first tastes the dish, sort of shakes his head with widening of the eyes, as if there's a hint of liquor in it for him, but he doesn't seem to be intoxicated per se.
Interesting.
Hey, sly was one of my adjectives. Like, come on. Hey,
Yeah, there are two very important phrases in the question.
yeah.
Interesting. All right.
And how does Yorwith react?
Yeah.
Oh, Yorwith is just sitting there, eating happily, watching very sharply the reactions of others.
I am reading these night's dishes, and it's just making me hungry. Like, damn.
Yeah, but the fairy dishes are so good.
Oh, yeah, if you want to pick a fairy dish, I'll pick a night's dish.
Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah.
It doesn't say that you have to have an even spread.
No, I like the thought. I like the thought of Parker looking at the menu and just being like,
Well, yeah, I think the thing that strikes him is he orders Midsummer's ripe berries boiled in soft moonlight.
Ooh.
And
choice.
If your heart is free to be won by boldness, by tenderness, or by patience, then the spice of this dish overcomes you. Who is overcome?
Oh, I answer this one first, don't I?
Uh-huh.
Damn. Coyote sets the dish aside, their face turning very red. And they have to reach for a goblet of their drink. And just like you can see that the hand is delicate and the reaching for it, but you see the tail kind of reach around and start to fan their face slowly.
Adorable.
Oh my goodness.
That's very cute. I love this tail. It's good.
Sir Edward begins sweating. Food of the fairies has fire in it, indeed.
Yorwith kind of fans his mouth a little bit and just, like, surreptitiously downs, like, an entire glass of wine. Just, like, chugs it down. My dumb idiot boy.
Oh my god.
So we're all ready to be romanced in here.
Oh, Parker's got to answer. Yeah, Parker's not answered either.
Well, he's not the only dumb idiot boy, because Parker also chugs a glass of wine and then kind of regrets it because it goes right to his head.
Aw, poor baby. Yorwith is the champion at drinking.
See, I like how if this question wasn't diegetic, then none of us would have a reason to suspect there was anything off about it. That's just how it is.
It's true.
It's spicy to everyone, obviously.
Obviously, it's just a spicy dish.
Yeah.
That's a spicy meatball.
Oh my god.
Thanks.
Okay. I will choose. What have we had? Have we had has it all been sweet dishes so far? It's weirdly spicy fruit, notwithstanding.
I was about to say, we don't know what boiling in moonlight does to the sugar content of the dish.
That's very true. Yeah, I'll go with the currants simmered in sweet cream. If you've never prepared breakfast for a lover on a cold spring morning, this dish dazzles you with its freshness and brightness. Who hasn't?
Edward just nods in polite approval. It's fine.
Yeah, Yorwith is sort of like, this is acceptable. He's not dazzled by it.
I think Parker looks absolutely delighted at this dish.
Baby boy.
Coyote looks similarly pleased with their dish.
Interesting. The plot thickens.
Okay, that's everyone's had their turn.
Indeed. And a toast to the chef.
To the
For
chef.
most excellent set of dishes, both fairy kind and night kind alike.
To the chef.
To the chef.
All right, it's my turn to pick a game, I guess.
Yeah.
I do like, while you're thinking, like, the solitaire is you draw cards, and it's designed to sort of help you, like, one, randomize it if that's your thing, but give you a bit of direction if you're not sure where you want to go with your character, which is super fun. Roll20 isn't the most graceful program when it comes to doing stuff with drawing cards, but we've done best we can
Yeah.
with it.
All right.
So the cards are there to be used. I think you also use the cards for the court as well.
Yeah.
So
All right. I'm kind of thinking about a dance.
yes. Look, we made it to the second game playing a Firebrand's hack without dancing. I think we did okay.
Wait, what?
Bad track record with like nearly every game of Firebrands or a Firebrand's hack I've been in. Like, we nearly always do a dance or the bacchanal super quick. Like,
Of course.
Because it's so good.
Because it's so good.
everybody likes a party. Everybody likes a party.
Everyone just wants to party all the time. Well, since we were already at a meal, I figure we move on to a dance afterwards.
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose... So what is it? You answer the chosen partner, decide which is your chosen partner, how you two came to be chosen, dancing together. Other players can join freely. Everyone dances who wants to dance. That's the important thing that I was making sure. So I wanted to have a dance with Sir Edward.
Ah.
Because I'm intrigued by him. But again, everybody who wants to dance can dance. So we can start with that, but does anybody else have other people they want to dance with?
Oh, I'm definitely going to be there to dance
I
Same.
figured.
because it's a dance. I got to be there. As per the playbook, the object of the dance, you play to find out who dances with whom, what it reveals about them, and how it changes their relationships. So, and I mean, we've normally in the past with this sort of game, like if you want to dance with somebody who's already dancing, you just wait. Everybody can dance with everybody if you want. We got time.
It's true, we do. It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I really like the thought that like the meal concludes. I mean, it's your game, Sam. So it's like
no. I that's what I was thinking. Is the meal concludes and we all
and then the musicians come out and then
exactly.
Nice.
Maybe they're on a different tree stump than the table we just ate at.
Yeah. All the musicians like squirrels and stuff in little jackets.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Yes.
That's so good. That's excellent. I love it.
A little band, a little like string quartet, but they're all just like a squirrel and a ferret and a couple of others, just like
a stoat.
Yes.
This is very good. I'm so glad that we've decided to play this game. This is a very good game.
Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Thank God. So
what changes though? Because if we're all going to play, so we all notice different things. We have to notice something different. So
what you notice about Yorwith is that he's very excited that the music is starting and that the dance portion of the night has begun. He's got, bright eyes, not quite bushy tail. That's not quite his thing, but but he's very excited for the dancing to begin.
How quickly does Yorwith approach Sir Edward?
I'd say it takes him a minute or two to sort of like, oh, the music has started. He's like glancing around, and then he sort of sidles up to Sir Andrew and is like, may I? He just sort of holds his hand out. He's wearing like shitty fingerless gloves, but like they're fancy.
Fancy shitty gloves. Perfect.
They're velvet, but they are fingerless gloves.
Beautiful.
It's fine.
Sir Edward has fairly pale skin, and there's a very deep blush that comes across it.
How delightful.
You may indeed.
So, beginning. So we go twice around the circle. So I guess each of us answers questions twice.
Remember, the worst dancer, self-proclaimed, takes the first turn.
I got this.
I was about to say, so do you think you're quite a bad dancer? Because Yorwith is pretty good at dancing.
Oh, is this character or player? Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it's the player saying that the character is a bad dancer, I think.
Either way. It's very funny.
All right. So what should be my first question? You may, at this moment in the dance, place your hand upon my elbow, my shoulder, my waist, or my hip. Which do you choose?
Yorwith just sort of very, very delicately and gracefully places his hands on Sir Andrew's hip. Actually, on his waist. Let's go with waist.
All right.
Quick question, because it says that we can anytime anyone can ask for detail. Who's taller, Yorwith or Sir Edward? Because they're both described as tall.
Yorwith is about 6'4", and he's wearing 5-inch heels usually. This is something that I did establish in the previous game I played him in. He is always the tallest person in the room.
Edward is not used to being shorter than anyone.
Beautiful.
And it's new and uncomfortable, and he doesn't like it. Or does he? He doesn't know yet. It's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's
There's
good.
a lot going on here.
It's good.
He tries to get up to Yorwith's shoulders.
How tall is Sir Andrew?
I'd say probably about 6 foot even.
Okay, so Yorwith is
So he can
like
probably put his hands on Yorwith's shoulders.
much taller.
Yes.
Adorable. Oh, it's my turn to ask a question. This moment in the dance allows me to step close to you and linger very near. Am I welcome?
You are.
Ooh. How does he react, though?
Very awkwardly.
I like to imagine that Yorwith just sort of chuckles, like, in a very, very smooth and very, like, dainty way. You may relax around me, you know. I won't bite. Unless you want me to. And he winks.
My mouth is just flapping open and closed wordlessly IRL. Alright. I lose my place in the dance. Do you let me stumble, or do you draw me back into place?
Yorwith very gracefully draws Sir Andrew back into the steps and goes, "It's all right if you're not used to leading. The steps of this dance are quite old." Yorwith is, like, laying it on pretty thick right now. Like, he knows he is.
No, really?
And he's not used to people actually responding to it. He's more used to people laughing him off and being like, "That's cute."
You mean like Quixote is right now watching, rolling their eyes audibly?
Exactly.
Edward cannot decide if this is too much or not.
So that was your second question, so this is my last question. I'm gonna say, at this moment in the dance, you laugh. At what?
At what you just said.
Fair enough.
It's a somewhat nervous laugh, because Edward is very embarrassed with everything that's happening.
Does he say anything in response, or is he just, like, watching his feet, trying not to stumble as the dance concludes?
I'm sorry, I'm out of practice, as it were.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. You're doing well. You're doing lovely. That is the end of our dance, I believe. So now anybody else who wants to dance may.
Yeah, Quixote will approach Parker.
Oh boy.
I find the choice of partners here to be excessively tall. Would you consider joining me for a turn? Offers a hand.
Excessively tall, huh? Fuck off.
So-
That's what I said.
What title does Quixote prefer? Like, what honorific?
Well, I have their title, like their full title, sussed out. I don't know how that... Their title is the Vulpine Regent. I don't know if that's Your Grace. Might be. I don't know how you're supposed to address a regent.
Well, I mean, it really comes down to how Quixote would want to be addressed, so I think...
Oh, they'll happily take their name.
Yeah, but that's not how Parker would do it, so I think...
Then Your Grace would be very cute.
Yeah, so I think Parker stammers for just a moment and is just like, of course, Your Grace, and accepts their hand.
Okay, and she sort of they is fine, mostly they, and yeah, takes the place for the beginning of the dance, and as the music starts up for the next number, begins to they absolutely lead as well, absolutely lead.
Of course.
So, and they're barefoot, but they always like walk like they're on their tiptoes, like to give that illusion of a high-heeled shoe. But also that way that, like, animal paws look like they're kind of up on their tiptoes. And it's built
Love
like
it.
that.
Well, I mean, digitigrade legs technically are on tiptoes because you've got the heel up, way up high. So I mean,
well, there
you're
you
not
go.
wrong.
Thank you for validating my choice with science.
I was raised by furries who were friends with a bunch of furry artists. You absorb
This
a bunch
is
of
good.
random things.
I love it. It's great.
Parker's definitely the worst dancer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what does Quixote notice about Parker in this moment as they begin to dance? Because we didn't do that part.
They notice that they're really flushed, and they can't tell if it's from, like, not embarrassment, but that self-conscious sort of blush, or if it's from the goblet of wine that they downed at dinner.
They're so
Yeah.
valid.
Parker notices that Quixote has pinned up half of their hair, just like on one side. And the hem, because they've got like one of those surcoat. I think surcoat is the word I'm looking for. Like that looks like a long vest, but like goes all the way down to the ground, and it's like sort of open at the front.
Yeah,
Sam, you know, thank you. But the hem has almost retracted slightly, like it looks like it's made of like leaves or flower pot, and it's retracted slightly to make it easier to move, to dance. I got told I could play with fairies, fairies, amusingly enough. Coyote, why not both?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what Parker notices. And everybody else, I suppose, if they're paying attention.
Oh man, I'm trying to decide where I want to start. I think your mouth is close to my ear. What do you say?
You know, for a mortal as young as you are, you're a surprisingly good dancer. For a mortal, I mean, but you turn about nicely. And they spin Parker. Gently, not like a mean kind of mean spin, just sort of like turn them into a spin.
Parker says, "Thank you, Your Grace. I try very, very hard to not make a fool of myself in social situations."
Aww.
Admirable. Something about me catches your eye and your look lingers. What is it?
I think... Could you describe Coyote's eyes? I'm pretty sure you described them earlier, but...
Yeah, they're sort of large and brown, long eyelashes, flecked with gold.
I think that's where Parker's look lingers for a moment, and then he glances away.
They smile.
My face is close to yours. Do you turn subtly towards me or subtly away?
Subtly away to watch how other people are reacting to the dance. However, because this is our game, we play it how we want. While they're looking away, their tail kind of loops around the back of Parker's legs briefly.
Oh.
Yorwith just gives them like a thumbs up, or like an equally
Yorwith is a bro.
Yorwith is a wild child.
Jesus.
I love him. He sucks.
And because it's so very good, my hair has fallen in front of my ear. Do you touch my face?
I think, Parker hesitates for a moment, like he reaches up and almost touches Cody's face, and it's just like, with your permission, my grace?
They smile and incline their head a little, just like a little nod.
And that's when Parker's fingers just like brush their cheek as he like tucks the hair behind their ear.
The ear is of course pointed.
Of course.
Yorwith's ears are also pointy. We're being on our bullshit.
Absolutely.
On our bullshit. The dance comes to an end. Does anybody want to dance with anybody else while we're doing the dance?
I would love to dance with Quixote, just to give Yorwith a chance to gossip.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm very down.
So what you notice about Yorwith is that he is, grinning mischievously. He's very, like... He's primed and ready for gossiping.
Coyote's grin turns a little feral, is what you notice as well.
Nice.
Like, they like to pretend that they're kind of above this shit. They're also not. Also, when I say they're short, I mean Coyote's like 4'11".
Oh my god.
5 foot. Like, if their feet were flat on the floor, they'd be about 4'11". On tiptoe, they're about 5'2".
I love them. I thought they were tall. When actually, I remember I drew a picture of them once when I drew the Dream Askew cast.
Yeah.
And Han was like, no, they're way too tall. Here's what you got to do. And Han like drew a box over where their feet were and like made their feet like several like a foot shorter.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
As they step up to dance with them. And I know I'm taking kind of a liberty with this. Because it's funny. They will beckon Iowith to duck down slightly and literally like step up onto his knee, and so they can be eye level, and they trust him to hold them up as they dance.
He's just gonna put a hand behind like their back just to stop them from toppling backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Hello there.
You're with a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to dance with you, my dear. Who's the worst dancer of the two of them?
What a rock, paper, scissors this shit? Like... Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Yorth is a better dancer, apparently.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Seems suspect to me, but okay.
Do you have a chance?
Yeah, it's probably more because Coyote is basically balancing on...
Yeah, on Yorth's knees, yeah.
Yep. So I go first, then.
Mm-hmm.
Your mouth is close to my ear, what do you say?
Of course, I'm so glad.
We're here to gossip.
We are here to gossip. So Yorvis just sort of...
The dance is a pretense.
Just sort of leans in close and goes, "You seem well pleased with yourself tonight."
Coyote kind of glances over at Sir Edward, who is doing what right now, by the way?
That's a fantastic question.
Standing in a corner having a gay panic.
I mean, who wouldn't have a gay panic about this?
Has he found himself dancing with another fairy?
There could be other fairies there. Like, there's an implication that this is it could just be a single pair of dancers, but yeah, there could be.
Alternatively, did Parker want to dance with Edward?
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay, then.
Sweet.
That is... The approach is beginning to happen.
Adorable.
Coyote looks over there and just lets out sort of like this low, throaty chuckle. And just like, oh, I'm having a marvelous time.
Yorvis just kind of shakes his head, and his hair, flies a little even more than usual, because, again, it's always sort of gracefully floating around his face, like he's some sort of anime character.
It's good.
We've already established that I'm the better dancer here, so I can't say I lose my place in it.
Well,
actually,
you can.
I will say...
You can get distracted by the pretty boys.
I'm going to say, actually, yeah, no, I lose my place in the dance. Do you let me stumble or do you draw me back into place? And I lose my place in the dance because you're pointing over towards...
Don't blame me. Do not blame me for your failure.
How is Coyote going to draw him back into place at this point?
That's what I was...
How is this physically possible?
I would say that the answer would be stepping harder on one of his knees.
Yeah. I think it's more... it's less that... drawing you back into place, like physically repositioning, but it's sort of like catching hold of your chin and pulling you back. Just like...
Hot.
It's like... like, you're with me, darling, and don't drop me because you're distracted.
Of course, my apologies. I would never drop you. Unless I meant to. He's saying this is a threat, but he's like, he knows his place.
You have the opportunity to draw me closer because we're already pretty close.
We are pretty close already.
Yeah, and hold me for a moment. Do you take it?
I would say no. Yorwith values his life. And he knows that Quixote has very sharp teeth.
Smart boy.
He may be wearing vaguely nonsensical armor, but it's not going to protect him from the teeth of another fey being.
Okay.
So my last question is, when the dance ends, will you stand with me or will you rush away?
I'll let you put me down on the floor. It's more sort of like I half daintily step and half let you assist me down. And I will stand with you. And as you've sort of held my hand to help me down, I will gently reverse the positions of our hand and kiss your knuckles and just be like, "You're with, thank you. Do try to behave yourself the rest of the evening while we have guests."
The same goes for you, my friend. Yorwith kind of taps them lightly on the top of their head in like a sort of fond way.
They definitely make a snap towards his fingers.
He draws his hand away pretty quickly. He's like, right, yes.
It's good.
This is a good game.
Switch to the boys. Switch to the boys.
Boys.
Well, Sir Edward is going to approach Sir Parker. My good sir, I do find these fairies to be overwhelming. Might I offer you a reprieve?
A reprieve is greatly appreciated.
Oh.
Which one of us is the worst answer, though?
Oh.
I think I am.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. I can dig it. So, Sir Edward is like 6 feet even.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I think Parker's probably like 5'7", 5'8", so no.
Okay.
No, that's... I said he was short. No, he's like...
Don't do an Andy Clare description of short people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do an Andy Clare. Yeah, so he's probably like 5'5" and a half.
Alright. An intriguing height difference.
It's about the same height difference as me and my ex-wife, so it works out.
It's probably about the same height differences between Yorwith and Sir Andrew, but just the other way around.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that was like 9 inches with the heels.
That's true,
Yeah.
actually. Yorwith likes to be tall.
So does Coyote. They stand on stuff.
God. Alright, so, yeah, Parker gratefully accepts the offer, and sketches a quick bow before, taking Sir Edward's hand.
Alright. So I suppose my first question... Something about me catches your eye and your look lingers. What is it?
What's Sir Edward wearing?
Sir Edward.
Yeah.
Is it Sir Edward or Sir Andrew?
It's Edward.
It's Edward.
It's
Why did
fine.
I think it was Sir Andrew?
It's fine.
You
My
were
brain
you were
doesn't
putting
work.
together Edward and Angelo.
That's
Probably.
Ah.
Probably.
That could be.
Well, that's my bad. Go back and edit that so that
Oh my
I
God.
said the
Yeah,
right thing.
sure. Sure, Sam.
You've got like 5 instances to change. It's fine.
Just
Fuck.
like a flat Edward. Just like
Edward.
Microsoft Sam
Sam
voice.
doesn't know what this character's name is. Oh well, it's fine.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't
What is Sir Edward wearing? Absolutely nothing. Buck
Oh.
naked. Nah.
Refer to the cast of Merlin or The Musketeers. Refer to a BBC family drama of your choice for some excellent, not accurate historical armor.
I mean, you've seen what Yorwith is wearing. His titties are out.
I would say fairly light armor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we've all played D&D here.
Yep.
Interesting.
Studded leather.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What colour? What colour is it?
Yellow.
Ooh.
It's like gold washed.
Dig it.
Parker has to look up a little bit, and so I think maybe they're struck by Sir Edward's strong jawline.
Oh.
I don't know. It just seems like Parker would be interested in anyway. Sorry, don't mind me.
Oh.
How old
Oh.
is Sir Edward? Because we said that Parker looked quite young. Like, how old are the humans?
Yeah, Edward is not much older.
Ish. Give me a ballpark figure. 20s? Early 20s?
Yeah.
Late 20s? Early 30s?
Or early.
Early
Yeah.
20s. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parker's in his early 20s too. So, but he definitely looks young.
Baby face.
Yep.
It's like 23 versus 25.
Yeah.
It's
Probably.
like,
Oh my god, you're so much older than me and more experienced.
Yeah.
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 Jeez.
The dance's figures separate us. When they bring us back together again, do you blush?
Oh, Edward never stopped.
Oh, I love it.
Beautiful.
My face is close to yours. Do you turn subtly toward me, or subtly away?
That's a good question. I think he turns subtly toward Sir Edward, partly because, like, Sir Edward is a familiar face, and partly because just bashfulness with everybody else watching. And when the dance ends, will you stand with me or rush away?
Sir Edward will stand with you.
Aww. Solidarity.
He is not rude enough to leave you.
Alright. Sam picked a dance, so Dora, your choice of game.
Okay, so I'm looking over it and Mischief looks fun, but I don't know, we're gonna play to find out what happens. And the object of the Mischief is to play to find out how your chosen partner might feel about you, depending, and probably to mess up your chances with them by being weird and awkward, but maybe it'll work out. To play, choose a partner. You're the querent and they are the dreamer. Everyone else may eavesdrop on your play if they choose and learn from it what they can. You are alone. No one notices anything about you, nor you about them. Other than the querent, no one should ask anyone questions. So, let's see. I haven't done anything with Yorwith yet.
Oh, fun.
Yes. So let's conduct some mischief with Yorith.
Oh, fun.
The querent, you conduct the mischief. Start with part 1, reading the script aloud, allowing the dreamer to interrupt if they choose. Continue to part 2, then conclude with part 3. However, dreamer, you may break off freely at any time, in which case the mischief ends. So, you're peacefully asleep in Dreaming Avalon. I'm somewhere else entirely, minding my own business, just smoking some incense and letting my mind wander. You're dreaming that you're dreaming. You won't remember this when you wake up, or maybe you will remember it, but you'll think it was a dream. I don't actually know. You'll probably remember it. Anyway, in your dream of a dream, I can ask you a few questions and you should answer them. I hope you answer them honestly, but you should answer them however you want. Unless you don't want to answer them at all. You can dream of waking up whenever you choose, just saying something like, enough. I dream of waking up. Then the spell or whatever it is ends, and so does the game. May I continue, or do you dream of waking up now?
Please, continue on.
That would be kind of a dick move. Just nah.
Nah, bye.
How dare you?
Just hang up the phone. The fact is, I'm curious about you, but I'm not sure how I feel about you, and I haven't decided how I'm going to approach you. That's what I'm trying to figure out. This seems like a Parker thing. If I do something stereotypically knightly, like devoting myself to you forever without ever saying anything or approaching you openly, will you find that endearing or annoying?
Oh, goodness. I mean, it would be perfectly darling if you did that. So endearing, I would say. Why, are you planning on it? Obviously, you don't answer that.
If I try to be more playful like you, would you like that, or what?
Sweetheart, nobody can be as playful as me. That's the whole answer.
Next time we meet, I think I might be so awkward that I'll accidentally slight you. Or on purpose, it's hard to know. Anyway, what's a slight that you might be able to forgive? What's a slight that you probably won't?
I might forgive you for fumbling my title, but ignoring me at a public event just simply will not do.
Yorwith is an Aries. Making that note.
His whole purpose is to be seen. If
Yeah.
he's not being seen, then what is he?
And I'm going to proceed to part 3, which says, in brackets, if you didn't want mischief, you shouldn't have chosen mischief. So I have some examples of mischief. I'm trying to decide if I want to use one of those. Oh, this is perfect. The next day you find that your horse has turned into a horsefly, your sword into a swordfish, and your hat into, let me see, a hatbird. Yeah. No lie, hatbirds are amazing. I'm not saying that I did it. Maybe it's a side effect of the spell we were both under. But it happens.
Lovely. Perfectly lovely, thank you. Yorwith is not well pleased about this.
Yeah. Parker means well, but sometimes you can't just mean well to make things happen. So I believe that brings us to Jade.
I was thinking about doing another everyone game, but I'm also looking at, like, the 2-on-2. Because meeting sword to sword is so very good.
Oh gosh, yes.
But I've also been looking at the court, because that has some really fun and interesting stuff in it, like both mechanically, and whoever ends up being Morgan Le Fay, everyone else can play the court in attendance, which has just got some really fun questions in it. I mean, we're doing okay for time, right? So we could do another round of games, do we think?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Okay,
Sure.
let's do the court then. Because, and I'll get somebody can do a one-on-one game with me, or I'll do a one-on-one game. Right, so the court.
I have plans.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
good.
court. Everyone plays. You have gathered in the court of Morgan Le Fay in the sacred orchard of Dreaming Avalon. We'll say what we notice about each other. During the court, anyone can ask anyone for details about the setting, occasion, and circumstances. The object of the court is to play to find out how Morgan Le Fay conducts her court, what hospitality she extends, what laws she enforces, and what forfeits she exacts. You play in attendance to find out about another. Now, the first time you play the court, the 2 knight players are going to appoint Morgan Le Fay, and the fairy players appoint the knight's captain. Thereafter, Morgan Le Fay conducts the court proper. Simultaneously, everyone plays the court in attendance. When you end the court, when Morgan Le Fay declares herself satisfied. Okay, so Morgan Le Fay and the knight's captain, everyone plays. Draw a card from the deck, draw it face down without looking at it. On the count of 3, place your card still face down in front of the player you think should be Morgan Le Fay. If you are a knight, or a knight's captain if you are a fairy. Fairies choose a knight, knights choose a fairy. So if everybody draws a card, and they're all face down, so if you click choose, you can literally grab any of these cards. And you could literally hover it above. You should be able to place it anywhere on the screen. You could place it above the player.
You can also, hand it to a player. Like, if you put it over the...
Because when we flip them, that will determine who got the higher card and then who gets the job, as it were.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody should be able to pick a card. So, fairies give a card to a knight, knights give a card to a fairy.
I'll give my card to Schrag.
Okay.
I'll give my card to Jade.
I was going to give mine to Sam. That's interesting.
Well, there we go. Let's balance this out, and I'll give mine to Dora.
Just swapping cards.
Okay.
Well, it's done on what the higher cards are anyway.
Yep.
So then it becomes random anyway.
Yeah.
So if we all, in theory, flip our cards, because we know, I think you can only flip your card anyway, and then we'll look at the rankings.
How do you flip it?
Double click it?
Okay,
we'll all say what they are.
Okay.
Right. So, Dora, you are now in possession of the King of Diamonds.
Ooh.
And I, the Ace of Diamonds.
Oh, wait. Is that the one you had?
No, Sam is in.
Oh, sorry.
Sam is in possession of the Ace of Diamonds. Jade is in possession of the Queen of Spades. So Jade
is Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Schrag, you have the Jack of Hearts. I don't know where that just went.
Okay.
And Dora, you had the King.
Yeah.
Jack
So
beats the
Dora
King.
is the Knight's
Dora
captain.
is the Knight's captain.
Weird.
Weird.
Okay, right. Let's just get rid of the cards. We'll sort them later. Okay.
We did it.
What's happening? Cool. Right. It's good is the thing. There we go. Okay, so we know who is who. And so we can move to the court proper. Morgan Le Fay, you conduct court. Choose any of the following in any order. I'm going to take the time to read through this list and consider my options. Everyone else, you're now free to play in attendance, which is on the next page. The court in attendance. Everyone plays. Which technically I still get. I suppose I don't get to play as well, because they may whisper their answers or decline with Morgan Le Fay is speaking. So you guys get to do this, where I don't.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'd like to ask Yorwith a question.
Oh. Court in attendance. Everyone plays. Sorry, I'm looking for what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Yeah. We take turns casually in any order. Morgan Le Fay conducts court proper. Take a turn, just choose one of the following and whisper it to the players near you. They may whisper their answers back, or else decline to answer with, "St, Morgan Le Fay is speaking."
Yeah, shoot.
Between myself and the Vulpine Regent, which would you favor in a fight, and why? And what might you wager on their victory?
Oh, goodness.
I'm an adult.
I'm sorry to say, I would probably wager on the Vulpine Regent, simply due to their... I don't want to say their age, because I feel like they may find me and kill me, but they have been around for a very long time, and they are quite dangerous. I would urge you not to seek to fight them if you can avoid it.
And what would you wager on them?
Oh, dear. I would say... I haven't the foggiest. I haven't a clue. Money, I suppose, so we don't really do money. Perhaps
So you were wagering something of little value?
I would wager 5 souls that I have tempted into my service.
I see.
And Yorwith just kind of winks.
Match.
Alright. I don't know how this works. I guess Morgan
any
Le
of
Fay.
Yeah, any of you can all ask each other a question. I've just noticed under the court proper, I have the option to play in as well as Morgan Le Fay if I overhear an interesting question or have a question of my own to whisper. So that's fun.
I would like to go.
Do it.
Sir Edward, if you could kiss once the lips of anyone here, whom would you choose?
This is Morgan Le Fay speaking.
Oh, bless.
I suspected as much.
Yorwith is like trying to hide the fact that he's giggling, like behind his hand.
Oh, this poor boy doesn't know yet.
Aww. If you hear a whisper in your ear. Yeah. So you can whisper. So in theory, people might be listening in. Which question was it? I saw it, and then if you had only 5 minutes alone with Sir Parker, what do you hope they would choose to do with you?
Yorwith thinks for a second and then goes, Morgan Le Fay is speaking. Because he just doesn't know, and so he's just like...
Yeah.
I would like to remind Yorwith that without the heels, you still have 10.5 inches on Sir Parker. Not in character, of course, but for the visual.
For the record.
Baby boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're also taller than them.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm going to interrupt the game for a moment to declare a law that prevails in Dreaming Avalon. If it pertains, I can ask the Knights Captain to acknowledge it. The Knights must consider themselves to be in the service of any fairy, even the least. Knights Captain, what say you?
Oh man. It's really bad that Parker is the Knights Captain.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, Parker's like, we're your guests. We honor your customs.
That's dangerous.
Coyote smiles, just like, good answer, kid. And sort of goes back to looking courtly. Please continue playing in attendance. There's a lot of things I can do under the court proper, so, like...
I'm gonna say,
Ooh, please. Oh, yeah,
Oh.
carry on, Sam.
no, go for it. This is your game.
Yeah, I'm just facilitating. In honor of the Knights Captain's so readily accepting and willingness to behold our customs, I invite Sir Parker, to conduct court temporarily.
Oh boy.
Now you get to choose something from the list, and I can then choose to affirm or countermand it. But, you know, I thought you might have fun having a couple of those to have a go with, Dora. There's a couple of good ones about the in attendance that I hadn't noticed before, which is like, command someone playing in attendance to repeat what they've whispered loudly and clearly so the entire court can hear it. Or you can get somebody to repeat what they said, to repeat what they whispered, or you can ask somebody to elaborate if you found it interesting or provocative. So, casual reminder, fairies are dicks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we like them.
Yorwith is gonna whisper to Sir Edward. If you could command clothing, gown, and robes of any material and cut, what would you wear?
A fine tailored suit, golden vest, and black coat, with a silken tie.
Interesting.
I will whisper to Yorwith. Who deserves the forfeit exacted of them? If only Morgan the Fae realised it. And I'm whispering, so you don't necessarily know who it is that's whispering it to you.
Nobody that I can think of is at present. Certainly not anyone present here.
Oh, man.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Dora. Dora. Do it.
I'm just trying to decide if Parker would do it.
You are acting in the capacity as the Knights Captain. Maybe the station of being in charge of the court compels you. And by that I mean Jade is enabling you.
Yeah, I know. So
Give them one taste of power, and this is what happens.
Yep.
They keep plying you with wine.
Yep. I am going to exact a forfeit of my choice. I am naming Sir Edward, and I command you to play through the remainder of the court, speaking only plain and unmixed truth.
Yes!
Good.
Oh, good. Exciting.
Fucking yes. I mean, you can still decline to answer, but still.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Well, you have a list of questions, you may ask them.
I think at that, in response, Kieri would just hum in approval, and glance over it, so it's just like, so I'm affirming your choice.
Nice.
Nice.
Please, I was just looking at that going, oh, that's so good. So...
And I'm going to declare a law.
Ooh.
Oh.
Fairies and knights may marry. The court recognizes the term of marriage to be one night, and the day between them.
Interesting. Term
Such
of
a
marriage
good way
is
of phrasing it.
3 days. Or a day and 2 nights.
No, it's-
Yeah. Like 36 hours-ish.
Yeah.
At that, Coyote lets out a laugh of sheer delight, applauds, and we'll come back and just like, you have acted upon your station well, Sir Parker. Please feel free to rejoin the festivities of the court.
And Parker kind of steps down and goes back into the crowd.
Seeing if there are any other court things. I mean, in attendance can still be running as well. So.
Yeah, I'm looking over the questions again.
Yeah. I can't lie to you.
Oh, we can just ask frivolous questions of our own invention.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
totally can.
Do it. Oh, we never said what do we notice about each other at the court. Anyone got anything?
I don't think there's anything new about Parker.
Yorwith is wearing a fancy new outfit. It's
Of course.
just as extra and terrible as it was before, but it's just, something different. It's a new day.
Yeah. So it is like the next day or something?
I assume
Yeah.
it's like the next day, the next night, whenever the court takes place.
Cool.
Sir Edward looks more secure than he had before.
Sir Parker looks a little worse for wear. The fairy wine did not treat him terribly well overnight.
Bless.
It's valid.
In their station as Morgan Le Fay, as it were, or it's technically it's technically Coyote acting as Morgan Le Fay. So part of their hair is braided up, and forms almost like a crown kind of a vibe around their head. And you know the whole thing about heavy is the crown that sits, or however that thing goes. They look less comfortable in this capacity than they did at the dinner or the dance. They look perfectly regal and they're doing what they're supposed to do, but they just don't look as happy about it. I think the tail is more still and it's sort of pulled round beside their legs, and they sort of absentmindedly maybe have a hand on it as they conduct court. Okay, continue.
I do like this one, and this is just in general. If an ogre bursts suddenly into the court, who do you suppose it would devour first, and why?
Yeah, I like that. I like that one as well. Obviously, it would devour Parker first.
Oh. Well, I would try to stop the beast should it enter the court, so I suppose if that is my fate, that is my fate.
Sir Edward, if Morgan Le Fay turned upon you right this moment and pronounced a dire curse, what curse would you hope for?
What curse would I hope for? That I should forever forget that there are sweeter things in the realm of the Fae than can be found in the mortal world.
Flatterer.
Please say you say that in character.
I want to say that Yorwith does say that in character, but sort of to himself.
Perfect. Fucking perfect.
I am speaking only plain and unmixed truth, sir.
Oh, God bless.
If the truth is flattering, then so be it.
Has anyone got anything else they want to ask? Because if so, I might declare the court satisfied for now. We've had some laws. We've had some forfeits. We've had some fun.
Sir Parker,
Yes?
what would you pay for the opportunity to brush the tail of our Vulpine regent?
Oh. Oh.
Incredible.
Oh, fuck.
I think Parker blushes at that and says, I don't think such a privilege is for sale, sir. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
That's good. Then I will declare myself as Morgan Le Fay and the court satisfied. And thus the court ends. And I was about to say, and it's to the top of the initiative order.
God.
Hi, it's Dora, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on iTunes, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about our show using the FTLcast hashtag. No, seriously, we crave the validation and it helps us out. Your support really means a lot. Thanks again!